Hello, everyone. Welcome to the seventh episode of the AI Healthcare Podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Reid, and today we are joined with my friend, Dr. Umer Khan, who is a physician and CEO of IMedHealth. Thank you for being here, Dr. Khan.
Thank you so much, Dylan. We've been talking offline, and I'm actually loving having a conversation with you right now.
Thanks for being on. And what situation or experience made you realize that AI in healthcare was the field that you wanted to take your medical career in?
Definitely. So I have been a practicing physician since 2014, and of course, I have a significant amount of experience in the digital health space over the past, since 2014. Actually, I went into development of mobile applications, telemedicine systems, medication reminder systems. So I have that bug in me to see what I can do and if I have any role to play at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, being in medicine, you realize there are so many issues that need to be fixed, and healthcare is one of the biggest industries on earth, especially here in the US. And of course, every life is important and precious. And the way healthcare has been administered, it has its positives and a few things to improve upon. And I believe AI is just the thing that we need at this moment to improve the numerous issues that are happening in healthcare that need to be improved upon. For example, uh, provider burnout. So, physicians, clinicians, practitioners, nurses, everybody is on the edge ever since COVID, or even before COVID. Healthcare has had issues for various reasons, where there has been an issue with burnout, and nurses have left in droves, and doctors have also looked to switch to other fields because of patient overload. Just the clinical situation can be extremely demanding. And I believe AI has a role to play in that. Then comes, we see every single day that there is patient dissatisfaction as well with the healthcare system. It could be in clinic, it could be at the hospital, it could be the way that they're receiving lab tests or their reports. And AI can streamline a lot of these things. For example, let's take an example. A person coming to the ER
Mm-hmm.
is not dying, doesn't have overt chest pain perhaps, but their problem is significant, and they're in the waiting area for 3 4 hours. With AI, you could have a robot or a tablet asking the patient questions, getting the things going, and AI can potentially even recommend to the clinician, hey, this is a patient with these complaints. I know you're busy right now. Do you want to send off a couple of labs to get things going and things moving? So the patient is triaged more appropriately and in a more timely fashion, as well as investigations are starting to start much before 3 4 5 hours wait time that they had to suffer through. So patient dissatisfaction is definitely something that I look to improve upon. And not only just that example, however, for example, patients get reports. Now they may have to wait for the doctor to come in the next day to explain about, "Hey, what does this actually mean? What does this MRI report actually mean?" And AI could play a part in simplifying the results for the patients and actually help the patient formulate much of a conversation and questions they may want to ask the clinician when the clinician does show up to their room.
Mm-hmm.
So many things. Then areas that I've seen AI is going to be actively improving upon is efficient staffing. Now, staffing has been an expensive issue that hospitals, clinics have faced. Now, it happens that every night or every day will be different from the other day. And hospitals try to estimate, okay, when are we going to see a peak period? Uh, which days are going to be more busier with more patient flow and volume coming into the picture? But it's very inefficient. The data they're collecting and the way they're managing it these days
Mm-hmm.
is has holes the size of baseball or basketball. A lot of issues. So what I've worked with in a company was that we estimate through various variables. We plug it into AI and improve upon it as we go. And we also look at what is happening in the surrounding area. Is it cold? Is it raining? Is there a game happening nearby? Is there an event? So all of these things combined, um, has been 20% more efficient in letting the hospital staff more efficiently. So numerous benefits, and you can imagine that's patient care.
Mhm.
Reduce the amount of staff when you don't need it. Increase the amount of staff when you are forecasting that yes, you will be needing it, and this has been a game changer for a lot of people.
Mhm.
Then, of course, we look at the issue with diagnostic errors. A lot of errors are avoidable, or a lot are not avoidable. And with integration of different decision support mechanisms, I do believe that this will help as a tool for clinicians to potentially make better judgments. So all in all, we have to improve how we provide healthcare. We have
Mhm.
to improve outcomes. We need to have better patient care, and on top of that, we have noticed that medicine has progressed to a certain point, and it will progress. However, one aspect comes into the mix again is, I want to mention here, is drug discovery. Now, drug discovery used to take years, possibly even $1 billion, to get a drug out into the market, and that had been a very tedious process. Now with algorithms and models that you can test out with AI, this is going to speed up quick that we'll probably see a burst of reliable, efficacious, and drugs with much of a lower side effect profile much sooner than we had been doing for the past couple of decades. So yeah, this is a technology, it's a tool that I look to be look to be a part of,
Mhm.
and hopefully we can make this a better world for all of us, because of course health is the number one thing.
Mhm.
Yes.
And kind of what you were saying. How is AI being used in the healthcare setting where you are?
Okay. So just to elaborate on this further, this is going to be an interesting question, because AI, people have been actually noticing AI only after we had ChatGPT launch. However, AI, machine learning, deep learning, all of these aspects have been there to a certain level in the past. However, of course, the world's imagination has only kicked in since we've had ChatGPT basically introduce AI, artificial intelligence, and generative AI to the world. So my take on this is that AI in healthcare is incredibly promising.
Mhm.
And as you just probably in with the last question that we were talking about, so much potential in AI. Having said that, that level of change we have not seen up till now. However, it's changing, and it's changing very fairly quickly.
Mhm.
Now, the way AI had been implemented, as is being implemented these days already, and for a couple of years at least. For example, very basic, the EKG, where we test out the heart's electrical activity. So EKG can provide you, a person may not really need to know or read the EKGs 100%, that they will have a good assessment based on the AI read for those EKGs. Although, just to caveat here, a seasoned clinician actually does not look to read what the machine has given it. They look at make their own judgments, but they may want to look at some values or numbers
Mhm.
on that report. Then, for example, echocardiograms. Echocardiograms is a procedure where you perform an ultrasound of the heart, and the cardiologist may write a report on the echocardiogram. However, there's numerous measurements that are done in that report, that if an individual sits down to calculating all of that, it may take a while. So that ML has been doing for a while. Then currently, there are numerous risk scores that are provided to a patient to allow better patient management. For example, sepsis alerts. Sepsis is a medical condition where you have an infection where, if not treated and identified quickly, it can significantly lead to mortality and morbidity. However, it could be prevented if it is detected early. But I would like to definitely say that currently the way sepsis is handled is not that great. It provides unnecessary alerts, and alert overload is a current issue.
Hmm.
Similarly, there are other scores that people use, called the Muse modified early warning scores, that determine the severity of an individual, and they may alert the clinician that please have a look at this patient earlier to see if this patient warrants any further therapy or more closer observation.
Hmm.
So there are numerous mechanism ways by which AI is being applied currently, but I do see the potential that's going to be huge. And one thing that we had done in the past, we developed a colonoscopy report generation. This was much before 2023, 2022, where we are all into AI in healthcare, and where the gastroenterologist will have a report ready and they can adjust as needed, um, uh, and skin detection as well. So uh, a lot of things have been done currently so far. However, there's a huge potential that we definitely talked about in the first question.
Hmm. And since you're the CEO of IMedHealth, can you just give an overview of IMedHealth and how you envision it will revolutionize AI healthcare?
Definitely. So just to throw it out there, um, iMedHealth is one of my company, and the other is True Talent dot online. So with iMedHealth, largely focused with healthcare related matters, and True Talent, we partner with companies to help out with IT resources. But the way iMedHealth started was when I started my practice, as I mentioned, back in 2014. I saw that patients are coming to the hospital sick, dying, in bad shape. Their blood pressure through the roof, their diabetes not controlled. They're getting strokes, heart attacks that could be easily preventable. Um, so I said, what's the main problem here? And it was clearly that they may not be compliant with their medication. They're not taking their pills properly, and there comes a time when you definitely need to be compliant with your medication, or you will end up suffering. So I made a medication list and reminder application. From that was my first step into the tech field as such. Then I went on to make telemedicine systems. Down the line, we made machine learning algorithms for different projects. We also worked on COVID-19 monitoring units. So iMed Health is a next gen um, healthcare healthcare development company where we're able to provide systems for the improvement of healthcare, and this is what we're into.
Hmm.
And I'm at Health partners with different people around the world, and we've been working quite well, and love to talk to anybody who has any further interest.
Awesome. And you know, you- you kind of explained this previously, but with iMed Health, how do you see it kind of solving the problems that we see in healthcare time and time again here in the United States?
Oh, definitely. So, exactly. These problems that I mentioned, including patient satisfaction, avoiding errors, possibly medication compliance. So we want to be at the forefront of leading these charges and developing tools for the clinician as well as the patients, so that we can improve upon physician provider burnout, patient dissatisfaction, efficient staffing, avoiding diagnostic errors. So definitely these pertinent matters where the rubber hits the road, exactly where you see healthcare in action. That's where we look to make our mark on.
Hmm.
Yes.
And based on your experience as a physician, what have you seen as the biggest challenge in making sure that other physicians who tend to be from a different generation where technology, not even computers existed, in educating them, hey, AI is beneficial in healthcare and it is the future of healthcare?
Definitely, that is a very pertinent question, and I would think, yes, somebody who is a little older, has not been with tech for too long of a period of time.
Mhm.
But I don't think that is a big hurdle. I do believe that somebody who is a little bit advanced in their, I would say, experience, I would say a bit advanced in their experience, um, uh, they do, or they may take a little bit longer to accept certain changes.
Mhm.
However, since EMRs, electronic medical record systems, have largely been are largely being used by so many people, I do believe that any change, if they do see a benefit in it, then they will definitely adopt it. So that's the key point here.
Mhm.
um, since my experience of the past, since 2014 and before that, I've seen, let's say, administration or whoever may want to introduce a tech product which hasn't been validated as such. So you definitely need to provide the clinical staff, nurses, clinicians, that okay, this is the discernible value of this product.
Mhm.
A lot of times you are told to do things which you don't feel has any benefit, or it is just to make somebody up on top happy. So that it shouldn't be the case. You have to look at, in this standpoint, if for any startup, you have to see what value you're providing your customer.
Mhm.
In a way, the clinician is the customer, although the final benefit is for the patient. However, the clinician is the customer. The nurse is the customer whose job you have to improve or enhance, and definitely has to provide value. So, uh, as a physician, or any physician, or any clinician, a nurse, anybody else in the healthcare sphere, their main urge is patient happiness. Patient outcomes need to be good,
Mhm.
and if they feel, yes, I think this is going to be an excellent tool in my toolbox, it's going to make a difference, it's going to improve outcomes, it's going to reduce costs. um, I think people should not have a problem. I don't think people have much of a problem to apply or accept any of these changes.
Mhm. And my last question is, from a physician perspective like yours, what would you like what would you like Congress to understand about AI in healthcare?
Well, that is a critical question. And first and foremost, I would like Congress to understand the transformative potential of AI in healthcare. But I also do feel that they help formulate laws. And I do feel that those have to be fairly balanced. Um, they should not bring barriers, although they should uh, bring enough regulation where it leads to a better product at the end.
Mhm.
For example, it has to you have to they have to realize a couple of things, that okay, um, you have to make certain rules, perhaps, that I would suggest that AI companies try to make sure as much as possible that the data that they are training the systems on is unbiased as possible. It is representative of not just a one group of data. However, it should look to encompass a diverse group of data, and look to apply that. That will actually lead to better results with the AI system. You don't want an AI system to go in and not actually perform better than what was already available,
Mhm.
or whichever standard of practice was accepted at that point. You actually want AI to be better. So having a more inclusive data set on which you train AI has to be much better than what is currently available. Otherwise, it won't be it won't be deemed useful.
Mhm.
Then again, you have to see other aspects which Congress should definitely look at, is data privacy and security. Now, there are issues that may happen, that the AI may be in the cloud.
Mhm.
However, there are setups, and I believe Microsoft and Azure, you could actually have local servers, or even hospital systems with the money in hand, they can definitely set up local servers where the data is not transferred far out, or there could be breaches that could happen. Of course, that is an issue with healthcare and tech in general. So they can probably promote legislation for that.
Mhm.
At the same time, I don't want them to stifle any progress, because there's a whole huge global competition, and we here in the U.S. need to be at the cutting edge of technology, and that's how we want to progress and we want to succeed. Then potentially, I would suggest that research and development, although although a lot of private companies are playing a part in this, and they can also open up research grants to explore aspects of AI that may not be touched upon by the largely the private and the profit desiring private industry. So potentially open up avenues for researchers to explore different avenues that may not be that may not bring in the gold early on. So yeah, a couple of things, and then I think there is definitely a digital divide,
Mm.
especially with the people getting older, with the baby boomers and everything else. Although I do believe that there could be ways to reduce any effect of somebody who is old, and there's going to be always going to be an issue of who is able to use certain health systems and devices, and who is not going to be able to use them. However, they have to keep certain things in mind with regards to
Mm.
the aging population.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think they should they should play a supportive role
Mhm.
instead of a role that is of any hindrance.
And do you think that the urban and rural divide here in the United States plays a huge role in that?
Well, definitely there is a divide, and a divide could also be in mindsets and lifestyle.
Mhm.
So I believe all of this will improve when they realize the value.
Mhm.
Of course, there is always a learning curve. When telemedicine first hit the airwaves, everybody was spectacle. Everybody was fairly unnerved that how is this going to be happening. But COVID hit, and everybody was doing telemedicine.
Mhm.
But after that, it did not, keep on progressing as many were expecting. However, people came to realize that there are certain use cases for telemedicine. Everything is not that everything will be every aspect of healthcare will be via telemedicine as such.
Mhm.
Although there's going to be constant improvements as we go. Yet you will find definite use cases, scenarios, numerous, not just definite, numerous scenarios that telemedicine will be most suitable for,
Mhm.
and where it requires other normal or other standard care measures, then you will continue with those.
Mhm.
So same as with AI and anything that we bring on, you have to look at the person. You have to look at the person who you want to actually benefit and receive that benefit. Everybody will be different. Um, a lot of things may help uh, the majority.
Mhm.
You will have to make proper adjustments for those who are not able to utilize such systems.
Awesome. Well, um, Dr. Khan, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate learning more from your perspective as a physician and kind of what you're seeing in the field. And where can people find you and learn more about you?
Definitely, you can definitely follow me on LinkedIn.
Mm.
It's Umer Khan MD. You try to find me, UmerKhan MD. I believe you want to reach out to me via email. It's Umer Khan at truetalent.online, UmerKhan at truetalent, TRUETALENT .online. And you can also try Dr. Umer Khan at IMedHealth.us, DRUMERKHAN at IMedHealth .us. Yes, I think that should be it.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. And do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Podcast episodes are available on Spotify and Apple Podcast. And do not forget to check out my newsletter, the AI Healthcare Report, on LinkedIn. This is Dylan Reid signing off. Thank you again, Dr. Khan.
Thank you, Dylan. It was a pleasure being here.
Same here.